Presley on the Woke Real Estate Podcast with the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Monroe.
I noticed we've changed the system to the point where we keep them fully engaged. So during my training, I don't just put them in front of a PowerPoint presentation. I have quizzes. Of course, we have a couple reference pictures, but most of the time we're just engaging because you have kinesthetic learners, you have visual learners, you have audio learners, and I learned this just because of when I used to be a team leader in my retail job at Best Buy. I just knew that I have to train a certain person to use a cash register a certain way. I can't just tell them, I have to show them. Or I can't just show them, I have to tell them, and I adapt, and those are my KPIs. So I get a KPI report off of engagement, off of what people said in their end of day reports to me, like, Andrea, I really love this. So I'm always adjusting and updating my trainings because this is my business. I literally niche down in this virtual assistant business. So my business, just as much as yours in real estate, Chris, has KPIs. So
right, I would agree with that. Wow. For people watching in the chat, go ahead, put your comments in, put your questions in. We'll try to get them before we get wrapped up with the thing here. Post them in there and we'll get it going. Also, Andrea, I wanted to ask you, I know you said something about meetings. How often should one have meetings and or training with their virtual assistants?
Well, I talk to my VAs all the time because they're like my only friends. But I mean, listen, if you're an investor, you don't have to really be there on a phone call for an hour every day. I would say this. Always meet with your virtual assistant. And if you've read Traction and you know what a level 10 meeting is, or if you haven't read Traction, but you've had a meeting at some point in your life with your boss at work, with other investors, you sit down and you really look at everything, and this is a part of the KPIs. You can look at your KPIs, you look at everything that's been great for the week. Your team meetings can be as simple as, what were your highlights of the day? And what were your opportunities for success? Because I never say, what did you do bad? You always have an opportunity to get better, right? So, you can meet with your VA once a week, a minimum of once a week. For an hour, I like to say a minimum of once a week. And now I'm telling you this, for the once a weekers, I'm not saying you just see them on a Monday and then you have an hour meeting and you be like, peace, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the week. I'm just saying, sitting down to break down everything throughout the week, listen to cold calls, talk about how they felt. Did you have any funny sellers? Did anyone say anything hilarious to you? Did anyone say anything rude to you? Did you have any calls that went really well? How did you build rapport this week? Those in-depth conversations, you should always check in with your virtual assistant 2 to 3 times a day. In the morning, they need to tell you, of course, this is kind of that employee kind of stepping into it. They need to tell you when they're clocking in. You want to make sure they're reliable, and there's multiple resources, whether if you want to monitor them or not. But having that, hey, good morning, boss, hey, those affirmations, you're going to crush it today on the phones. You want to talk to your virtual assistant every day. I'm not saying have a whole entire KPI breakdown and talk about the county website, and you don't have to do multiple trainings, in the morning. It can be as simple as a 15-minute phone call, or even a text. And then having that nightly report, your virtual assistant will send you an end of day report, or they should be. And then, just things like that. You should be always in communication, but at least have that intimate conversation with them once a week, because it's just going to really just glue everything together and keep that relationship solid.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Relationships is the key to success. It's your song, y'all. It's your song, y'all. I say, everybody go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We chillin' with Chris Monroe. Come on. Let's go, let's go. Now you're chillin' with Bro. What up, Justin? You see you jamming over here. Let's see. Merge off. Hey, Chris, is that you? Damn. Hey, that's what you want your seller saying. Hey, Chris, you did that for real? Damn. You say, yeah, right. It don't work like that, huh?
I'll grind, no gimmicks.
But what if the gimmicks get you to the grind?
It is what it is.
Because, some people may look at something as a gimmick, but it may be something to get what we call attention. Without the attention, how we going to accomplish the mission? Right?
Mr. Master Sensei.
But how do you know if it's a gimmick or it's a good marketing strategy? How do we separate that?
That's a good question based on your ROI. If you did it for free and you made money off of it, you did good.
So, because how people say, do this marketing work? Can I use bandit signs? Can I use pay-per-click? Can I use newspaper ads? Can I do door knocking? Can I do all these different marketing strategies? All of them work, but some people may look at door knocking as a gimmick, or putting out these little signs on the side of the road that say, we buy houses, as a gimmick. I guess it's perception.
Yeah. Think about how many scholarships old boy has sold from that. Just do it, man. Just sign up, man. Just do it.
There you go.
So tens of millions of scholarships, a debt drove people into debt by the hundreds of thousands.
That's no fun. We don't want that. We want to make it simple like a pimple. So, I think all marketing works is just, what is the best strategy for that particular person and or individual and or, perception and objective, like she say over here. So yes, welcome everybody. If you are watching on the YouTube, you can hit that link that's in pinned to the top of the chat if you want to join the stage. If you don't, just stay there and listen and you'll learn something by accident, because we talk about real estate because it's important. But Justin, how important is real estate? Like, if you can put it on a scale, is it at the top, the middle, somewhere at the bottom, floating? How important is real estate?
It gotta be maybe top 10 things that everybody should know in the world. For sure. Top five easily. Because everybody has to have something to stay.
So not top 10, but at least top 5. Could it be top 2?
Sure. I'll say maybe top 2. Yeah.
Might be number 1.
Right.
Because you're going to pay for it one way or the other. So you're going to pay somewhere to stay somewhere. Whoever. You're going to pay somebody, or you're going to live on the street under the bridge, but you still going to pay either way. Even if you, because you're not leaving the planet unless you're Elon Musk, and he ain't even left yet. So everybody got to pay. So why not get on the other side of the equation where people pay you for making it do what it do?
I agree.
So I think real estate is probably one of the things that, all people really, anybody who thinks of having any kind of success, you have to have real estate in that equation somewhere, whether you are just a silent partner or a private money investor where you don't have to necessarily operate. Because when everybody think about real estate, they think about, I got to go get my real estate license. I got to go get my license, pass this test. What is it? 100 questions on the federal test and 40 questions on the Missouri state test. I don't know about other states. That's 140 questions. I might get some of them wrong. What if I don't pass the test? Does that mean I can't get in the game of real estate? Does that mean, that I just cannot be a part of this thing everybody else getting in on? And really, I feel like when you do real estate as an agent, you just represent somebody else. You're not even really representing, yourself in the transaction. So a lot of people look at that like, I have to go get my license so I can represent somebody else and watch them make buckets of money. Because that's what it ended up being, right?
Right.
So I mean, there are benefits of getting a license, but it's really not necessary. Because even when I'm looking over because I was looking over the questions, as you probably know, Justin, for the take the test for a real estate license, I'm like, man, really gonna help me be successful, or is it really just to protect my broker, protect, um, yeah, the broker? Basically, that's all it's really doing, to make you feel
Bank.
like everything.
The bank.
The bank? What do you mean?
Yeah, they protecting the bank as well.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if they're representing the bank, they could be. I mean, depending on who they're representing, because it's just like an attorney. You have a person that's representing you in this transaction to help you get through the ups and downs. But from what I found, just being honest, a lot of so-called agents are not that good.
Right.
How about this? I'm gonna go bold. Can I go bold, Justin?
Let's do it.
Most people aren't that good. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Most people, I don't care what industry, you have to figure out who's the people that are good and who's the people that are bad. Because everybody wants something. Even the real estate agents, they want more listings.
Right.
The so-called wholesalers, they want to get a contract that's overpriced and they can't sell it. That's what really ends up happening. The investor or the flipper, so-called flipper, wants to get a property they can flip. They want to get it for $2 and flip it and make $1 million. That don't mean you're going to get it done. So all of that is just the thing when you think about this. Contractors, people that want to come do work on your house, they got something. They want to keep their workers working. Because I know people that actually flip houses and they buy houses just to keep their workers busy. Is that crazy?
Right.
How you going to work or buy a property just to keep your workers busy? Because if your workers aren't busy, what they going to do? Quit. So these are just some of the things that I'm saying.
They go scary.
You say what now?
They go scary off.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, finding good help or good workers is probably the hardest thing in entrepreneurship. And I'm only talking from experience. I've been through probably 300 employees through my cleaning business that I started back in 2011. And most of those people really wasn't even worth giving them a name, to be honest, because they didn't stay that long. They might stay for one pay period, get one paycheck, and they gone. Because cleaning toilets or maid service or house cleaning is really not a career choice per se. But there's people that do it for many years. But then there's some people like, hey, I'm just doing it because there ain't nothing else better. I'm gonna get this better job. But while I wait, I'm gonna go clean this toilet. Hands and knees on the floor, all behind there, and get them hairs and all that other stuff. So, that thing of getting good help is hard. But it's a skill set that people must develop if you want to be successful. Now, Justin, when do you plan on hiring your first employee for real estate?
For real estate, after I make my first 6 figures.
What? You gonna wait that long?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna milk it.
Why?
I see you move lean and mean and stuff, so I'm like, let me just, not go off to the races. Let me, duplicate what Chris do, at least a fraction of it. Then I'll go, try to do the team and the marketing and all that stuff.
But I mean, if you could have some help or hire someone or have somebody on your team, what would you have them do?
The dispo stuff for real.
What?
Yeah.
The dispo? Oh my goodness. Art, are you hearing this?
Yeah.
Art loves dispo. That's his favorite part of the business. No, he like acquisitions.
Yeah, I really like acquisitions.
So for people that are wondering, what is this jargon? Acquisitions when we acquire the property, dispositions or dispose when we dispose of or make our money or exit the particular deal that we're working on. You might hear these words dispo and all that stuff. So, but why would you hire or have somebody do dispo, Justin?
Because it's a whole nother challenge trying to get, is the sellers to me are kind of easy for me, but the finding the buyers and stuff, that stuff is kind of, a little bit more tricky for me right now at this stage.
I don't know, Justin. I think you might be looking at it wrong. So you saying buyers? So say whatever property you got under contract right now, if you had it under contract for $1, how hard would it be to get a buyer for that?
I'm sure my inbox would be through the roof.
So is that we need to get it lower, maybe, or is that the buyer, or what we got here? I mean, is it? It ain't hard to sell something if you get it for 2 cents, right?
Yeah.
If we get it for 2 million, now we trying to sell it for over 2 million, and I'll be like, man, it's hard to sell it to these 2 million and up buyers because it's 2 million.
Right.
But if it was 2 cents, we back way down where we got a big spread on whatever it is. See, it's just the mindset. Because in wholesaling, per se, in my opinion, you can't never get it low enough. It can never be low enough. They want it for nothing. Is that right, Art? When you've did any wholesale deals, they always want to lower, right?
Yeah, always. It's never cheap enough.
But why do they do that?
It's never cheap enough. That's why they make their money. So, they want to try to get it for the best they can as well.
So that means if we're wearing our wholesaler hat, we have to do a better job of getting it lower so it's easier to move. If we get a $300,000 house under contract for $30,000, which is 10%, how hard would it be to move that?
No, at all.
Justin, one thing, make sure you're doing when you talking to buyers about the deals you got, make sure you ask them what number would they need to be at for it to make sense, because sometimes you'll be able to take that feedback and go back and rework the deal with the seller.
Yep, some of my best deals came off situations like I tried to give a deal back to a lady. She was like, no, see if you can do this. And I'm like, huh? All right, see if I can do it. And I got the number, and she dropped her price down, and I got that bad boy sold. A duplex on the south side. She let me get it for 40 grand. I sold it to the dude for, I think, 52, something like that. Because she was trying to get too much. This property was a duplex that she owned for over 20 plus years. And the tenants that were living in there were basically, they paid for the building about 6 times each on the duplex on both sides. And it's big. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath duplex. So these are big rooms, big city house. And she already got all her money out of it, and this was her last house. And so she tried to squeeze all the juice out of it. When I did the takeaway, which I was truly trying to give it back to her, like, hey, we can't move it. It's too high. Everybody, my partner saying it's too much work, which it was a lot of work, because she didn't do anything to it, by the way. It still had the old brown carpet from the 1980s. It still had, like peach or blue or green, whatever that color is, bathrooms, granny bathrooms. So it needed a full overhaul. I mean, it was livable, but it was just way out of date. It was like 30 years out of date or more. So nothing wrong with the house structurally, just old, everything old. So when they trying to sell it for top dollar, they dreaming. And a lot of people are dreaming when it comes to that. They're trying to get more money than something's worth. Because what is something worth, Art?
What someone's willing to pay.
And that's it. That's all it's worth. Numbers is made up. What is somebody willing to pay for it? If somebody willing to pay X number, that's what it's worth, or more. I like to create a little bidding war if I can. Hey, I got this guy at this number. You think he can do this? Matter of fact, I just did it on the last deal. The deal that did Friday, the contract we did. The guy was trying to get me down on the price, and I was like, nah, on a buyer. This is on the dispo side. So this was a deal. It's a little cheap house over in Illinois. Got it under contract for $21,000, which was, I probably should have got a little cheaper, but whatever. It's under contract for $21,000. I was going to sell it. I tried to sell it for $32,000, but he was like, well, I like it, but I got to be at 20. What do you say? 25, and we can move on it. And I'm like, actually, he tried to do 23.5. He started lower than that. And I was like, I don't know. I think you're the lowest number. Planting the seeds of doubt. I think I got higher bids than that, higher offers. Let me check. Well, let's see what we can do. So he went through his process. He started, sending people over to look at it and stuff. Which I thought he was a wholesaler, but he actually was a real buyer. He sent somebody over there to scope the sewer lateral and go put the camera down there and all of that. And, I'm like, well, damn, if you're going to spend money to do that, because most buyers don't even know to do that before you buy a house. He did that, and so I knew he was serious at that point because he's invested. I asked the guy who did it. I said, "How much you charge to do these?" He said, $200. $200 in Illinois and $150 in St. Louis, Missouri side. So I was like, "Oh, well, this dude must be serious. If he's willing to spend $200 on a house he don't even have under contract, maybe he's the real deal." So I know I got him right here. I know he got some money in it, so he ain't gonna let me just walk away. So we got in negotiations, and I got him to come up to 27. So we got it under contract for that, and it's gonna close up probably this week or next week. So what do you got going this week, Art? What are your wins and or losses if you lost anything?
Yeah. This brings me to this next point I was about to make about the price reductions. I actually had a deal on Tuesday. I had this deal under contract since like February 21st, but long story short, the price was too high. So a couple weeks ago, I made an offer for a price reduction. I thought I had a buyer tell me what they could buy it at. And then it was a couple weeks. And then this past Monday or Tuesday, the sellers reached back out to me and said they had like some crazy medical emergency. And now they need to sell this house ASAP. And they're accepting a price reduction. And it was a $36,500 price reduction. And then I had a buyer lined up like half a day later.
So it was way easier to sell it once that price was right, huh?
Yeah, it sold immediately.
It didn't have to even haggle or nothing. It's like, oh wow, it's that price? I'll take it.
He got me for a little bit lower, but I was okay with that. A little bit lower than what I was asking. I'm okay with that.
I mean, because price made up anyway. The most you're gonna get is what you ask. You ain't gonna get much more than what you ask unless it's like way low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on that, Art. So you cooking over there.
Yeah, and then like was this last night or yesterday? Either yesterday or the day before, I locked up another deal. And I think this price is probably too high though. I'm pretty sure it is actually.
How'd you find that deal?
Cold calling.
So cold calling really works because people say they don't want to get on the phone.
Yeah. It actually came off a follow-up too, because when I talked to him like a week ago or whatever it was, he had one property he was wanting to sell because he had a buyer who had like fell through or something. But he told me he had already got their earnest money. And long story short, I sent him the contract, and then I finally got him back on the phone. I guess this was yesterday. And long story short, we put the deal together on another property because he had already sold the other one to the one he took the earnest money from because they told him they threatened to sue if he didn't close. So he sold that one, but he told me he had this other one, so we put it together. We'll see how it work out.
So you're calling landlords?
I think this was on a negative equity list. I did finish up a entire landlord list a few weeks ago. I only hit it once so far though, so I'm definitely gonna double back on that.
So when you talk to these people on a cold call, what are the magic words that you're saying to them?
It ain't no magic. I'm just qualifying them. The same 4 pillars that we all learn about. I also do ask them on the initial call if they're open to taking payments. And then other than that, just getting them offers out and following up.
And how long do you feel like that process takes, like just to get them an offer?
If it was the only lead that I was working, I mean, after I talked to him, it'd only be, a couple of hours to look at the numbers on the deal and get an offer out.
So you can literally get them something today. If you talk to somebody today, you can get them an offer today.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Serenity says might make sense for a novation if you think it's overpriced on a wholesale on that deal you got under contract.
Interesting.
Is that something that's possible with that or not really?
More than likely with this particular property, we either gonna get this. I'm gonna get some offers in and then see where they come at, and then go for a price reduction if necessary. If not, I'm gonna let it go within our inspection period. It's a full rehab vacant. This price, I'm pretty sure the price just needs to be lower on this.
Yep, it ain't never low enough. So
the reason I will say, I'm not like trying to be a slime ball, just locking up a bunch of properties, but this was a great marketing opportunity for me because we just had this Lake County Convention Center get landed in Gary. It's a major deal. So I had to seize the opportunity to make a point to people that they need to be buying whatever properties they can while they can, because prices are steadily going up.
Hey, that's the thing. You know, when you understand what's going on in your market, knowing your market, you can capitalize on it. Like they still buying buildings over near where they're building a government center downtown St. Louis, or right outside of downtown. So it's like kind of, you know, the hood, but people still buying them, especially from out of town, because they're going to need all that housing over there by the NGA. You know about that, don't you, Justin? You ain't been marketing over there? Say, you don't mess with it.
The hood.
If you're going to go to the hood, go to the right hood.
Right.
Chris,
Yeah.
I forgot another win I had this week is I had another deal close on Thursday. I should get my wire on Tuesday for that one. It'd be $9,000 fee on that one.
$9,000. Come on with it.
Yeah, it was a good week.
You've been chinging them out here. So a $9,000 assignment fee make you feel a little better, right? It make you like, wow, this stuff works.
Yeah, it's I'll definitely take $9,000 any day for sure.
But why do they close on Thursday and don't fund it till Tuesday?
It's this title company in Evansville called True Title.
Oh my God, not True Title. I don't even like them in St. Louis. I didn't say that out loud here.
Bro.
Just to know about True Title.
So I already got one closed with them, so they do get it done, but man, they different for sure.
Yeah, I like my money the same day because it ain't over till it fund. Until it hit my account, I don't believe nothing.
There's a couple title companies up here is common where it sometimes, depending on when the everything gets done during the day, it's common that we have to pick up our check next day. But you know, this other company is like 2-3 days. Like,
all right, I'm finna hook you up now. You ready? It's gonna be worth the price of admission. You didn't think I was gonna leave you hanging, did you?
what you got?
You know, I gotta hook them up. Let me see if I got the right website. Creative Title and Escrow. You heard of them?
No.
Let me see if they got a website. GetCreativeTitle.com.
Oh, you trying to recommend them?
That's who you probably need to mess with. Because
So-
you know why?
Wow.
Because that's my guy's place. Pace Morby. That's his so you can do your creative deals nationwide, no excuse. You know how people are like, oh, who gonna do my title work? Who do sub twos? Who do wholesale? They do all that creative and innovative stuff and built for investors' needs, as you see here. They need to give me an affiliate link. Wait a minute, don't give them too much credit. But no, I'm just gonna share it this time so people know. Hey, it's no excuse. Because I was thinking that on the deal too. I was like, wait a minute, why am I using this rinky-dink title company when I could use this one in Illinois? Because that deal is in Illinois. So there you go. Give them a whirl. Give them a conversation, see what they're talking about, and might be something worth it.
So I do have a preferred title company up here that does really good, and I really like them. Especially they do wholesale and creative deals. They do blind hoods. They do everything I need them to do, and they quick communication is on point. It's just this particular buyer who bought these deals this is his preferred title company, and I'm okay with that because he's paying more than anybody else will for these houses.
Yeah, it makes sense. We go where the money is flowing. So yeah, I've dealt with that before. I've been through probably 15, 16 different title companies since I've been doing real estate. But I stopped doing it. I used to be like, oh yeah, which kind of title company you want? Until I got screwed over. I only got screwed over for a couple $100 one time. Because I had a deal. It was a wholesale deal, and it closed at, I think it's Insight. I don't know the name of it, but I don't use them anyway. But it was a title company that somebody wanted me to use. And lo and behold, they ended up charging me some of the title costs. And I'm like, nah, that's not what the paperwork say. And I asked the title company, I'm like, because they gave me a check. And I'm like, why my check off? Why is it short? They're like, oh, yeah, the closing costs. And I said, no, the buyer pays that. It's like, oh, that ain't what they said on there. I said, yeah, it is. Let's pull it up. Let's see what the paperwork say. So they pulled it up. Oh, it's on the paperwork. And they was like, oh, well, he's a preferred buyer. I don't give a damn who he is. Get my money, man.
What the hell?
So I went back to the person who brought that buyer and they gave me the money back. But still, I shouldn't have had to go through that just for a couple $100. It wasn't like it was a lot of money, but it was just like, why are you messing on my check, man? Because it was a $7,000 check, I believe. And it was like, they gave me like 6,000 something. I was like, where my 7? I want to see a 7 in the front, my lucky number. 7s and up, baby. Because that was at the time I was closing 6s and 7s back to back. 6 7s, 10s, 6 7s, 10s. And every once in a while, I get a big how you get in there with like a 30,000 whopper. I need another one of them every week. If you can get a 30,000 every week, would you feel better?
Yeah, hell yeah.
What's the biggest wholesale deal you close, Art?
10,000.
Oh, we got to get that number bigger, man. We got to double that.
I know.
We're going to double that before, let me give you a date. Labor Day.
Before Labor Day. Bigger than 10,000. I'm on it.
You got to get at least 15 and up. That's your goal. 15 and up. So how do you get a bigger assignment fee, you ask?
Negotiate better.
That's right. And I'm talking about on all sides. The seller can get that work and the buyer can get that work. If you can get the seller to go down 3,000 and your buyer to go up 2,000, that's your extra $5,000.
By Labor Day.
Yep.
I'm going to make it happen.
I know you can do it. Justin can do it too.
Let's see.
Justin got that 20-piece coming. I'm telling you, I'm calling it now.
Bettina got this screen thing going on here. Bettina, is your camera not working?
Yeah, for some reason it's not working. I'm on the laptop.
Turn it off. Turn your camera off. Like turn it off.
One thing that another win that's overall that I got going on is it's kind of like, the last few months I've been consistently closing deals like every few weeks or so, something like that. That's pretty cool. Haven't really had that before.
So you're almost trying to retire. You're trying to quit your job.
I am, for sure.
No, we don't want you to quit. We want you to work the rest of the year so you can get a full year salary.
Yeah, I keep going for now until I get like 25 rentals, and then I'll be done.
25 doors. You can do that in one deal. Just get an apartment.
I've been thinking about that, man. I'm gonna keep going with the single family for now, since I'm just starting to get some traction going. But I definitely want to get some apartment buildings eventually in the next few years on creative finance. Traction going.
There you go. So Serenity says probate, bankruptcy, and zombie properties are leads I usually get bigger assignments. What's a zombie property? Can somebody help me?
It's when the bank went to foreclose and then they didn't foreclose, but the seller think they foreclosed on, so the property's in limbo.
Come on with it, Art. You've been studying your books. You've been studying, my man. What about a probate? That's Bettina's favorite. Oh, she jumped out. She'll be back in. A probate. What's a probate, Justin? Justin, like, I don't know.
You said what's a probate?
Yeah, what's a probate?
A probate is a dispute on someone's estate.
A dispute. What you think about that definition, Art? Is that a good definition?
For probate, I would say it's like when a property or an estate has assets that have to be settled upon. I don't know if every state is different or not. Like in Indiana, there's a judicial process. Yeah, and then that has to happen before heirs can claim the estate, unless there was a trust in place, right?
Or a will.
Or a will. Well, I had the one that I bought on that land contract. That one had a will, but it still had to go through probate.
Exactly. If you have a will, that means you will go to court. That's basically when anytime somebody bring up a will to me, that does mean you will go to court. Because they got to go and look at your will to see what your wishes were so they can try to carry it out. I prefer the trust method because we can get that transferred already and don't have to deal with that. I was waiting till Bettina come back in here before I go into that probate deal, but I guess she'll pop back in a second. A lot of people, and as a matter of fact, we door knocked, 12, 13 doors, and about half them people was dead. So deceased owners, they're dying with the property in their name and is going to foreclosure. And some of these houses are nice. Matter of fact, all of these nice houses were nice. I didn't see any raggedy houses. I didn't go to any raggedy houses. So they were all pretty good. The problem is they shouldn't have had the property in their name when they die because now they got to go through a whole process. Now, if they had a will, like I said, they will go to court. And if they had some type of transfer upon death, that would have been better too, because at least we know it's going to this person upon the death. But a lot of people don't even think about it. Nobody knows when they're going to leave here. So having a property in your name is kind of like playing with fire. You're leaving a mess for your loved ones and your family members to try to deal with and argue over. Big Mama wanted me to have it. Nah, she wanted me to have it. And they can have the stuff, but when it comes to that house, they really going to go to war. Have you ever seen a situation like that, Art?
I haven't dealt with too many probates just yet. I do got a couple leads that are like, I got one. This dude's he want to sell. The property was in pre-foreclosure. He said it's like 7 heirs total, and the one that's living in it is one of the main ones that don't want to do anything to help.
I bet he don't. He living in that mud. Yeah. Y'all ain't selling this house for money. Me, Big Mama wanted me to have it.
Yeah, so I still got them in my follow-up, but that's like a whole mess right there.
It usually is, but sometimes if the numbers are worth it, it's worth the wait and the problem and the headache. Like Serenity said, that's them probates can be some big juicy checks, like the one we're working on now. So like I said, we knocked on some doors and basically tracked down a family member on the property, and the lady basically wanted to sell the house but don't know what to do. And that's what a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I have any rights. And, this person died without a will. And like Serenity says here, if a will is in place and still in probate, usually someone is contesting it. Yeah, so if you got any kind of contesting, that's going to stretch all of it out. That's what make it take long. If it's uncontested, it can go by a few months. As long as they notify all creditors or predators that may want to come after that estate. Right of survivorship, joint ownership. That's right, Royalty One Investor. Say they smart. These people be knowing their real estate, man. Say get real deep in the weeds, and a lot of this stuff is better, to go through it. Go through some of these transactions. You become almost an expert immediately, because like a lot of people are afraid of pre-foreclosures. Like, oh man, what do I do? Pre-foreclosures is my favorite one, because I know I can 1, stop the auction, and 2, buy the house, usually for what they owe on it, plus a little bit something on top, depending on what the situation is. Let's see here. In some states, if the value is under a certain dollar amount, only one heir, they can do an affidavit of heirship and not necessarily have to go to probate court. Yeah, so here in the state of Missouri, what state are you in, Serenity? Here in Missouri, you can do an affidavit of heirship if the estate is less than $40,000 and the decedent passed away more than a year ago. So over a year ago, and the estate under 40,000, we can do an affidavit of heirship and don't have to go through that probate mess, because that's no fun. We want to have fun. Bettina made it. Yay. She in GA, but invest in Wisconsin. So that's what we got. All right, Mr. Justin, what are your wins and or losses for the week?
My wins is got a walkthrough on Tuesday for a property that I got on contract. Central West End, me and Bettina working it. So got some walkthroughs. I've talked to a ton of potential buyers. No earnest money. My seller is trying to become shaky. trying to say since we are closing on the 30th that she wanted to close. She had to close 5 days before her purchase for her home for whatever reason. Said the underwriter said that it has to be. So she's trying to pull out the agreement because she felt like she's selling her house for cheaper than what she can actually get it for.
So you know what that means, right, Justin? She should have read the paperwork she signed. She should have signed it to say we need to close on the 25th or sooner if she need to be closed by the 30th. If she signed something different, I don't give a care what your underwriter and all those other people say. Things happen anyway. Deals get pushed back on the buy and the sell side anyway. So what the heck is she talking about?
Right.
Happens all the time.
I haven't found somebody yet anyway, so I was thinking that worst come to worst, I'll let it go, and I think I'll be able to get her to do a full seller finance situation on the next WAP. So I think she's not gonna be able to sell it on the market for what she thinks she is.
There you go. What were you saying, Art?
Oh, never mind. Nothing important.
Come on, everything you say is important. You get $9,000 checks every week.
No, I definitely wouldn't be working.
Every week.
Definitely wouldn't be working at that point.
So the people you got coming to the walkthrough, buyers for that property you got under contract, Justin, what are they saying so far? What are they saying? It's just all about what they see, or what do they think about the numbers? What do they give you?
So I actually haven't talked to them. The two of the people are some Blake referrals and stuff. So Blake helped find some buyers, and then I got one guy who's gonna do a walkthrough. He is a North St. Louis investor. So we just talked about I just sent over the pictures and everything. And he like, yeah, I come through. I was like, yeah, you come through on Tuesday. So small conversation. I haven't had no in-depth conversation with them.
Make a sense. So I mean, I kind of try to talk to these buyers and or sellers and try to screen them to see, hey, I mean, are you even looking for something like this? It needs a lot of work. I mean, can you handle a project that needs a full rehab? Have you done deals like this before? If I found more like this, would you be looking to buy some? Questions like that. And it's just to gauge their motivation, because we always gauge in sellers' motivation. I want to gauge the buyer's motivation. I mean, if it's something you like, how soon could you close on something like this? Is it something you got to wait for? You're using hard money, private money, your own money? These are just some kind of questions to figure out who we're dealing with. Like I always say, everybody can get that work. And I'm not saying in a bad way, it's just conversational. Oh, wow, how long you been doing real estate for? You been flipping houses? Do you buy and hold them, or you flip them? People love talking about themselves. Ask them about what you're doing in the business. What are you doing in life? Oh, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They love that stuff. So cool. What up? Germon. Bettina.
Yes.
Can I hold 100,000?
Wait right there. I'm gonna get that to you.
It'll be that long before I get it. Waiting that long. No.
Wait right there. Now remember, you never say no.
Yeah, I see. I didn't catch you slipping. You never said no. You say, let's see what we can do. I could definitely get you 100,000 if you bring me a property worth $1 million. I could definitely get you the 100,000. I promise you that. And I don't even need to see the property.
I told Chris we need to go tackle that Lewis and Clark apartment complex. We need to go take that down.
Let me see what it
looks like.
What
I'm talking about, the circle? You know which one, Bettina?
Which one?
The circle on Lewis and Clark.
I don't know. She an Illinoisan. She don't know nothing about St. Louis.
Oh, for real? You ain't from St. Louis, Bettina?
She a Cahokia.
Get out of here. You've been
Yeah,
this whole time.
Missions, I'm coming. Ill now. Yes, sir.
Is St.
Let's see
Louis
what it looks like.
close?
Justin say we need to take this down. It's 25,000. That's not a bad deal for that big old building, but look how much work that mug need. I mean, so
My
this
big
is what the
sister
building
used to
looks
stay
like.
up in there.
How many units is that?
Probably 200.
Shit,
It
it
looks
was.
like it's leaning. That's the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Everybody take a level.
Man,
The
they'll
Louis
get that thing
Park.
away from what they own on it.
I mean, what the hell happened in here to make it look like this?
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody was in there trying to
Yeah,
do some.
people were sleeping, squatting up in there, stealing.
But what made this here? All this here? Why would you have drywall removed? Are they stealing pipes? Why would that be opened up like that?
Was this the projects?
Yeah.
This was
They
apartments
already
before,
know.
right? Was this apartments, Justin? Because I mean, I don't even remember it ever being open. It's been vacant at least 20-some years, right?
My sister used to stay up in there when I was like 16.
So that's like what, 15 years ago?
Yep, 15.
They said leaking and mold. Oh, that is mold. Yeah, when they cut the bottom of the thing like that. Serenity be on it. She know her stuff. So yeah, it looked like it's leaning still, no matter how I try to.
Straighten it up.
That mug leaning. Lean with it. Right. Yep. Then they try to take a straight picture. They cheated. They moved their camera over to straighten it up. We know that mug leaning, bro. Look at that. Lean. Lean with it. Right. Yep. So yeah, that's what we got. I mean, and so I always say the same thing. There's only two reasons a property won't sell. The price is too high or the market
Price,
sucks.
marketing.
Price too high, the marketing sucks. What do you think about this marketing?
It's terrible.
Is this marketing grade A or
I'll
grade
take better pictures than that. I have 800 pictures on that thing.
They probably don't want to walk up in that mud. They scared the building might fall.
Justin, what feedback have you been getting on your deals?
Just talk. No offers. I got one offer. Just talk. No real buyers though.
Have you taken them to any local meetups?
Nah. I haven't been in tune with the local meetups besides Chris meetups.
Mm.
It was a big one. What was that? Last week or last Thursday? A big one.
That was the
biggest
one we
one.
went to, wasn't it?
That's the biggest one in town.
The one me and you went to?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there was another one.
Oh, for real.
There's, you know how many meetups there is in St. Louis? Like about 7, maybe more. I think I'm gonna call this agent. I think I know this person. This agent that got this property here, because this say here the address number 4. Are they just selling a unit, or are they selling the whole building for $25,000?
Hope they
I'm
sell.
not trying to sell rooms.
I'm finna call her. Let's see here. Let me pull the number up. I think I know her.
25,000. How many? Ooh, Lord, have mercy.
That must be just for the unit. Let's see if I can get them on the phone.
Let's see what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, I do know them. Okay.
Hi, you have reached Amanda, the broker.
Boy, these agents never pick up.
They
Lazy.
came up on the caller ID there, but they didn't answer. So, most agents ain't gonna answer no way. You know that.
You know, you got to call them back.
W-2 employees.
Now she been.
They're only selling one house a year.
How did she get tied into auction.com? Maybe they just did. Maybe she just listed it on here because it say she the agent, and I know her. Matter of fact, let me call her from my direct number instead of that recorded number. Maybe she'll answer. If I got her number in here. Just like you, Justin, you be knowing all the agents and everything.
Network.
They answer if I call with the direct line.
Hello. Oh,
They won't answer. Answer the phone.
Hi, you have reached Amanda.
Man,
Yep.
we call about money.
And I called from my direct number. The other one was from my real estate phone number, but that one was my direct number. They say
That's why the building ain't moving now.
Something out of Mad Max film. Let's see. We got a bunch of chats in here.
We can get a building like that and sell it to a film studio.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how many units it is. And I don't know if that, because see, it says unit number 4 right here. So I'm like, are we just buying a unit or are we buying the whole thing for $25,000? That sounds cheap. Matter of fact, I can bid on this. I'll bid the $25,000 if that's for the whole building. I'll wholesale that bad boy. Let's see here. Anyone done a SOW? What's an SOW? Got me on that one, Serenity. I don't know what that one is. Let's see here.
So yeah, I sow my seeds every 2 weeks.
Sow your seeds. There you go. So you reap what you sow.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's spelled anyway.
Might be a great commercial land play. So I saw another building that was like this too. It was an old flea market building over there on Skinker and Page. They had it listed as land, but it's a building on it, and it was a raggedy building like this. They just listed it as a land deal, but there happens to be a building because the building was so much trash. I'm like, how you gonna say we selling some land with a building on it versus just saying it's a property? There was reverse psychology on it.
That's a marketing superstar.
Hey, I think it got it sold because I don't see it on there no more. I think they sold it. They was asking something stupid too, like $2 million or something. I said, damn, it's big though. It wasn't like small, but it was definitely some land with just a building on it. Let me see what else we got here. More reason why don't I work with 90% of agents and realtor mortgage brokers, because none of them answer their phones. Exactly. But that just means you got to be better and you got to keep trying. Just because they don't answer the phone, do you give up?
Got to blow these people up. Anybody we trying to do business with, we got to blow them up for real.
Name of the game.
That's like a missing link in a lot of business transactions is somebody following up.
The fortunes are in the follow-up. All right, Bettina, what are your wins and or not so wins this week?
Well, my wins was I got a hold of quite a few buyers.
How are you finding or looking for these buyers? What are you doing to locate and attract them?
I'm sorry.
What are you doing to locate and attract these so-called buyers?
Well, you know what? I had quite a few that were in my phone, and I just went through it and started sending them, or not letter of intent, just sending them messages, letting them know I had this property and the zip code that the property is in. And then I was actually getting ready to start going into some of these groups to see if whether or not they were interested. You know,
Right.
some of the that I have actually just joined just to do this, but I didn't get the chance to yet. So that's a loss right now until tomorrow. So every day after work until I get it done, hopefully we can get this taken care of.
When is the inspection period going to be ending on that deal?
The 6th of next month.
Oh, yeah, a long time. But how we do that to the 6th? But when's the closing date then?
Well, actually, that is the closing date. It's supposed to be.
So when
I think. What is the closing date on that? That is the 6th, right? Justin, I see you, but I don't hear you.
I said I can look real quick. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I can tell you in a second.
But your inspection period time is still going, right? Or you got more time on that? That's what I'm just trying to make sure, really.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least until next month for that.
Is he ready to
put
close?
21 we put 21 days on the inspection period.
Okay, so that's what, the 6th? Somewhere up in there?
Yeah, he signed on the 6th, so 21 days, that's the 30th. That's Friday.
It's been 21 days already?
That's
21 days. Maybe the 6th, you mean the 16th or something like that, right?
Is that 21 business days?
Let me make
He's
sure. Though. No, he signed. I'm sorry. He signed on the 15th, and we have 21 days. So that's shit mid May. I mean mid June.
It's like the first week of June. I think it's like the 6th or something.
Is that 21 business days or 21 days?
We just put
21.
21 days.
But I mean, it could go into the following week. But he's going to be going out of town, and I really wanted to catch it while he was here, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to get into the property.
You need to give us a key, because you know, does it say on your contract that you can put a lockbox on there or something like that?
On that contract? Nah, I ain't never
that-
seen my box talk on there.
Hold on. Let me check something. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I know mine got it on there. Let me make sure though. Maybe you have the Chris Monroe version, because you know I make it
I don't think
even stronger. I take your best contract and make it better. So Serenity asks a good question here. Do you have good pictures and videos?
I have good pictures, no video.
Why?
Well, because his pictures look professional, very professional. I took pictures with my cell phone and they look good, but his look good. I was like, ooh.
But why not a video though? Just asking.
Well, I mean, you could give a video, but some people just don't do videos. You'd probably be better off with a picture that, unless you're going to go through real fast.
Well, there's something to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Pictures are great, but video is greater, because that can give you a full scope of the layout of the property, things you can't show in the picture, slow pans up, down, sideways. And they could a person out of town that's not in St. Louis could potentially buy your deal. Because remember, St. Louis people, just being honest with you, they be kind of cheap in my mind. People out in California, Florida, out of town, they just, it's only this much, I'll buy it. Videos like you're walking through. Yep. And then you know what I do? I'll get that video. You take where my phone at? You take your phone, you go not that way, you go that way, do your video real slow through the house, put that bad boy on a YouTube on an unlisted link, and send that link with your marketing so that you can have people see it. Not just pictures, you get a full view of the property. Anything we can do to show it, the better. So they got this other thing as well called what's that thing called when it shows the whole panoramic view of it? I forgot what the thing even called. Justin, you know what it's called. You do videos, right? It's the thing you put in the middle of the build in the house, and it takes the full 360 video of it.
Yeah, 360 camera.
Yeah, or it's like a what the heck is that thing called?
180, two 180 cameras.
What about that tripod that you set up?
Yeah, the tripod thing. You know what I'm talking about, Art. I forgot what it's called, but you can do that too. But
virtual tour.
Yep. Because I mean, whatever you can do to show it, the better. Especially when you know this guy's like, we can't get in it and all that back and forth. I need anything I can do so I don't have to come back and bother him. But I prefer to get the key, to be honest with you. We need the key. We need to get in here 3 more times while you're out of town, so we can get this wrapped up. Because I mean,
right.
Especially if he called himself leaving all that junk in the house. I mean, unless he got something.
Look, we need to get in there and have a rummage sale. So much stuff in there.
Hey, Bettina, one thing I be telling people, these sellers on those situations, sometimes they don't want to get a key up. I just tell them, like, if I don't have the key and I can't get the people in there that I need to when I need to, all it's gonna do is delay our closing, and I'm trying to get you paid.
It could possibly delay your closing. So you plant the seed. Hey, if we don't get a key to it, I mean, which you can totally do this, but we need to get in here probably 3 to 5 times prior to closing, because we got people to get on the roof, people to go check the sewer lateral, people to do all these different checks throughout the house during our inspection period. And if we cannot get access to it, it could potentially delay our closing. If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, you got me.
Yeah, a motivated seller don't want to get it done.
Especially if they're in a rush, like, can you close next week? Sure can. You need to do everything I tell you to do. When I say jump, all you say is how high.
Okay.
Sure.
I still got to find some other people to reach out to, though. I'm really get this joker on and pop it. Done. Move on to the next.
Put it on Marketplace.
Put it on Marketplace.
You say yeah. Why not?
Well, I could put the front of the property, but I didn't know I could put all those pictures on there.
You don't need to put them all. You just need one. We're just trying to generate leads, Bettina. We don't have to tell them everything.
Okay.
So remember, marketing is an art. It's not just, I'm going to throw some on the wall and see what sticks. It's an art to it. So we want to attract a buyer. Just like we attract motivated sellers, we want to attract who we're looking for. Full rehab in 63108, house across the street sold for over 400. Inbox me for details. Just enough to make them get their palate wet their beak.
For sure. I had a property, the one I just locked up, I had to do that. For some reason, my posts be getting around pretty good now, and these sellers be seeing them somehow. People be sharing my stuff a little too much now.
Right. So you don't have to get too specific and do every little detail so they know exactly the property. Just enough to make somebody interested. Just enough.
You don't even got to put the address. You could just put the zip code if you're really that concerned. Real buyers know.
Craigslist, Facebook, OfferUp, used to be Let Go, Marketplace, yard sales, all of this stuff. SOW means scope of work. I knew you knew that, John. What up, my man? Good to see you. John Lewis, scope of work. Y'all supposed to know that acronym. Come on, Bettina.
I said all I could think about was church. Sowing a seed.
So
Serenity, I deal with work scopes in my day job. Not on real estate though. But it's about the same. Bettina, you definitely got to use Marketplace. That's where a lot of buyers are at, for sure, for sure.
I'm getting ready to put it out here now.
For sure. And on your own Facebook and in all of the local yard sale groups and whatnot.
Bettina, do you have it on your regular page?
Yes.
And what does it say? Something juicy?
No, just that there was a property, a 4-2 in that area, in that zip code. Inbox me for more details. Marketplace. Buy, sell, locally.
So yeah, it does say it on here, Justin. I had to go find it in his contract. I'm like, I know I ain't crazy. Let me put it up for you. Right here in right there. Can I highlight that? Right there in point number 4. A lockbox may be installed to facilitate convenient interior access prior to transfer of title. I'm gonna say, I know this contract should be ironclad.
But when I run into sellers who don't want to agree to the lockbox, I have them meet with whoever I got going over there, and then as soon as that person leave, I hit the seller back like, all right, I need somebody else to come over tomorrow. Can you meet with them? And they'll be like, yeah, we can just do that lockbox.
Exactly. And matter of fact, I wouldn't even necessarily offer just the lockbox. I just tell them, hey, I need a key to the property. I don't even hit them with the lockbox per se. I don't mention it. I just get the key so we can get in. And then I put the lockbox. They already signed off on the contract to agree to the lockbox. They don't know that because most people don't read it. They didn't read section 4. Right? So yeah. That's the game. That's the game we rolling. Ooh. So let's see here. We write up a 1-up for all of our properties. Oh, a scope of work. Okay. Well, I don't really. Well, I guess I could say I do something called known repairs. So if I say I know it need a water heater, known repairs, water heater, flooring, kitchen rehab, full rehab. I just give a general. I don't want to get too specific because buyer beware, and I don't want somebody to come back later and say, "Oh, I didn't tell them something." Hey, I'm not going to tell you everything. Buyer beware. Buyer beware. Let's see. They say you can pull a cash buyer list for that zip code and just email blast them. Did y'all try that already?
How you pull an email list from a zip code?
Well, you pull a list of cash buyers that purchased something there recently, say in the last 6 months, and you skip trace and contact them. But you need one in that zip code or in that grid.
I did some of that with PropWire.
I would even go to the zip code north of that because it is 63108, but it's on the other side of Delmar, so I would consider getting buyers that are even further north of that.
Justin, what feedback have y'all got on that deal?
We got an offer. We got a low offer from I'm about to say Deal Machine.
Faster House?
From Faster House. And then, like I say, everybody just been like, they're not investing in that zip code. I got maybe at least 100 inboxes of people saying they're not investing into the zip code. And then I called up from PropWire.
So let's be clear. They're not buying in that part of that zip code. They buying that zip code. They just don't want to buy north of Delmar. Yeah. That's the truth because they feel like it's too rough over there. John will buy it. John Lewis, he buys over there. John, don't you want this deal? They like North Side.
What you said? Faster House had a low offer. What do you mean by low?
They wanted to put it under contract for 55, and then they want to market it for 30 days.
And then we don't have 30 days, first of all. And second, we were talking to two different people from the same place. So I stopped communicating with them and let Justin mess with them.
How you know they plan on marketing it?
Because they wholesalers.
That's what they do.
Oh.
That's how you know. I mean, we only said so much down. I mean, that's a $350,000 house. And you get it for the price we're giving it to you at?
What did
that tells me they're wholesalers. That's what they call a daisy chain. Daisy chain, right?
At least they were transparent about their intentions. What about?
It's in their contract.
That's cool. What about what did the investor who flipped the other house say?
He was like he went ahead and invested into a property in Ferguson. So he was like he had $10,000 to put down towards a down payment, but he was like he wouldn't be able to do anything higher than that.
That's a down payment.
But that's not enough for us.
No money down.
Deal. If he had 30, we might take the 30 on payments
and finance the rest.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the game we play. So a lot of times it's coming back to the elephant in the room most of the time, Justin, as you can tell. It's hard to move them houses over in them areas. That's why I don't go over there. It's stressful. I mean, it could be done, but you be pulling teeth. Like, did this stuff even work?
I agree.
If it was like 30 or 40K, they probably buy it real quick.
100%.
So that might be, reality. Now you say the one sold across the street for 400 and some. Are there others over there that sold for a lot or anything close to that in that area?
The one next door is sold for like 365.
Did you talk to that buyer or that's somebody that's a
You know what?
homestead buyer?
I talked to his daddy out of town who don't got a relationship with him, and his daddy stopped responding to my phone calls.
Yeah, you gotta get him on the phone. The actual buyer.
They don't get along.
I think dude locked up when I did my research on it. Could start going down the rabbit hole. I think he in jail, in my opinion. But the daddy was like he just haven't talked to him in a minute. But from my research, I think that dude's sitting in prison. Or
How much time he got?
It did say his conviction. Actually, how long? It was a couple of attempted murders, though.
He couldn't even get the job done. It's 2025, man. You supposed to know how to get this over, get that wrapped up.
You get more time for attempted murder than you do murder.
Really?
Yes,
That's crazy work.
because that person got to walk around and live with that for the rest of their life.
Sad news. So what I'll do here, you say you got how much time left on it? About another 2 weeks?
We got
Christmas. I think it's like the first week in June.
heart bashing that barbecue.
Nah, this seafood boil.
He's supposed to have a bib on and a bucket and gloves and
Right.
You know, I was trying to be respectful with the training.
you half did it. You weren't even serious about that.
I just need a little bit while we was on the training.
I know that's
Some
right.
Kool-Aid.
So Tina, that lady that you and what's the girl name you say was there? That y'all tracked down the lady, Shelly. She's under contract now, and I got her tied in with a probate attorney so they can try to get the probate started. But I need to stop their auction because it's this week. It's the 30th. It's kind of short, but I'm waiting for her to send me back the loan number and stuff. I mean, I could send this stuff over without it, but I don't want them to be like, oh, you got to send the loan number. You got to send this. You got to send that. I like to send everything all one shot and have it done. But that's where we're at on that particular deal. So if that probate goes through, well, if the auctions is stopped first, you can get the probate done and or whatever they're going to do to get that property transferred and done. But we kind of got her on board.
Okay.
That's a win, I guess, until if we stop this
They
auction.
got
It's
you in
real.
the pipeline.
It's real. Yeah, how was that door knocking you did, Bettina? When you and I went door knocking, how was that overall experience? Tell us about that.
It was crazy. Do you know almost everybody door we knocked on was deceased? That made me have to come home, talk to Valerie, put her to work. Come on, Valerie, we need to find these people's people. And she actually she found a couple of them. And then there's one more that was just sent over. We're trying to get it done now, but the church hasn't reached back out to us, or nobody has reached back out to us. So I'm just gonna bug the church and they'll just
Wait a
make
minute.
sure.
You said you had to bug the church. Why you ain't just go today instead?
Well, because the person that owns the property is deceased. That being said, you have to look for the heir. Whoever the person is that inherits the house is the person that we're looking for. So the only way to try to find that person is to call the church where the person was buried or where the person had the funeral, because I'm sure they have a list of family members. And if one family member calls, the rest is history, because that one family member can brainstorm with me and find out who the heir is to that property.
So Serenity.
If the church passes on the number, in which the church has been passing on the numbers, and they've been calling us. So this last one is a doozy, though.
How about you go put your marketing up on the church bulletin board?
You know what?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Now that is a thought.
Now all of a sudden you want to visit a church every Sunday. Oh yeah, I'm visiting, putting your marketing up. I see you.
I'm in there.
Let the church say amen. Sign here.
You know what? That's not a bad idea, though. I mean, it sounds crazy.
Great idea. What do you think? I got bad ideas? Come on, Bettina. Come on. It's me.
I'm going to them anyway and tell them instead of bugging the pastor, hey, let me get this little spot on your, every time you have a funeral, you point to that little board over there. Because
the community bulletin board. Oh, not an agent text me back.
Text you, huh? She said it's 8:13.
I'm jump on the phone. Quit bullshitting.
Right. Hop on a call. That's my next step, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Your next step is what?
Going to these churches, putting this information in those churches, and letting them know if someone passes, you need to be giving me a call if they have property and you don't know what to do with it.
So that's another thing. I mean, I've never done this, but I've heard it done before, and it's kind of like, I don't know, ambulance chasing. You go look at the obituaries, and then you backtrack to see if that person had any property, and then you go get them that way. I don't like that, but see Art like, oh wow. No, I wouldn't. I don't like that, but I've seen people do stuff like that.
Yeah, they're probably because some of those people renting. They don't care. They done rent it for years. They ready to go.
The only way you know is say, I see that Joe Smith just died. Let's go look up Joe Smith of Florissant. Oh wow, there's Joe Smith of Florissant. Is this the same Joe Smith? Wow, he's got a house with all this equity. Because I mean, like these people we're knocking on that you said half of them was deceased. It's been a long time they've been deceased, and nobody even reached out to nobody in their family. Where do we reach out to them at?
You're so right. You're so right. Okay, that's another good one. I mean, I ain't not gonna do that one, but I think I'd rather do the church thing though. I mean, because it allows me to get the information out there, and then it also allows me to continue to do what I'm doing here as well. Plus, I can move forward on whatever else I have to do. I mean, I don't have to. Oh, damn, that's not a. I'm gonna try that though and see how it works.
Somebody calling you, Bettina.
Hello.
Hi. You left a little paper plate on my door. Talking about you want to do something, help me or something.
Hey neighbor, how's it going? This is Bettina. You don't know me. I just moved in the neighborhood. I'm sorry. My name is Bettina. I'm looking at this property down the street from your house, and I'm in the neighborhood pretty much. So did you sell your house yet?
Oh no. I'm working it out with are you calling about that foreclosure? Yeah, I'm working that out with the bank. I'm working it out already.
Okay, so what are you doing with the bank to work it out?
They gonna send me some stuff. I'm just waiting for them to send me some stuff. So thanks for trying though. I'll get back with you.
So okay, what are you doing with the bank to stop the foreclosure? You gotta stop
They
that.
said I can do a modification, a loan modification.
Okay, how's that going?
They gotta send me the papers.
Oh, they haven't sent them to you yet?
Oh no, not yet.
Okay, have you reached out to them about it?
Yeah, the auction next month, so I got time. I'm just gonna wait for the papers. I'm gonna do my loan modification.
Don't wait till the last minute. Do not wait till the last minute. Whatever you do, the bank is the business for the money.
What are you, like a real estate agent or something? What you trying to do here? I'm
just a regular old mo schmo, just like you. But I'm trying to weigh some options here with you. Let me give you some options, and you can just kind of, think about it or what have you, and we can see what we can come up with. Because the bank is not in the business of property. They're in the business of making money.
Yeah, we're going to do a loan modification, but I thank you. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks, neighbor.
Can I circle back and call you back at this number in about a week? Check on you?
I'll call you back.
Okay, now if you don't call me back, I'm going to call you back, okay?
I don't know what you're trying to do, though.
Just to check on you. Check on you, see how that modification's going, see if I can help you in any areas.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? All right. You have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. She gave your objection overcome right there. What do you think about that, Justin?
I'm working on it.
I feel like just having more questions navigate the conversation. People don't want to hang up on you because they don't want to be bad people.
So more or better questions is what you're saying. So like, what questions should she have asked, you feel?
What if it doesn't work out for you?
It would have been a good one. Caught me off guard. There you go.
What happens if that what happens if what's supposed to happen doesn't happen?
That was a good question too. That would have been a really good question.
I mean, and if you give yourself a good 5 to 7 good basic questions, you'll always have a question at hip, ready to pull it out. Pow! Got him. Even though I'm gonna do a loan modification. What happens if you can't get that done? So what I would tell a person, if they come and tell me, I'm gonna do a loan modification, great. I hope that works out. But just so you know, you have to be approved by the bank for that to go through. Do you think they'll approve you? I don't care what their answer is. I'm just planting the seed of doubt. Do you think they're going to approve you for that? Yeah, they're going to approve me. I mean, what makes you say that? They don't know that, to be honest. It's really just to make them stop the rush me off the phone stuff and making them answer something so that I can keep this conversation going. And then once they start going in, they might ask me, well, how do I make sure this goes through? Or whatever they're going to ask. I don't know, because every conversation goes different. That's why I don't necessarily like using scripts. You know, you can have some word track, some questions, some good questions you can use. But what did you think about that call, Art?
I would say the Bettina, you definitely are making progress on your calling for sure. That's really good. You asked some good questions, tried to keep them on there. You tried to establish a follow-up with them. Those are all good things.
Cool.
There you go. Serenity gave you one. Are they willing to stop the auction while waiting for approval?
Good question.
So that's really my main question. When I first get on the phone with them, or even at the door, we're door knocking. Hey, Jim. Yeah, who are you? Oh, I'm Chris. I live in the neighborhood. I was trying to see, have you done anything yet to stop the auction? They're either going to say, what auction? Or they're going to say, oh, yeah, we got the loan modification. And then we go down that rabbit hole. But I'm going to confront that real early in the conversation so they know I'm not there to play around. Because they might slam the door in your face or they might hang up on you if you do get them on the phone.
Okay, when they say what auction, because I've had that happen to me before.
Yeah, so according to public record, there's an auction pending for your house here. So you haven't heard anything from the bank or anything like that? Everything I do coming back to a question on them. Everything I do. I might have a little something, but I'm coming back with a question no matter what. Something, because we're going to keep this conversation going. Why am I going to do questions? We're going to keep the conversation going. That's why. Questions keep the conversations going. What have you done to stop the auction? So what happened when somebody told you that before, Bettina?
Well, they asked what auction. Remember, that was the very first time I went door knocking.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, I mean, he was just, I was like, okay. I tucked my tail in and ran. Because I kept telling him that, yeah, it's an auction. And I did let him know that, it's in a public area where I ran across it to know that it was an auction. But you know what? It's a possibility he could have been right. But he was in foreclosure. But it was just that, after you catch up on the arrears, sometimes that take a month or two for them to record it. So he could have been right.
Man, it take one day. What they talking about?
I mean,
when that money hit, the auction must quit.
No. Because remember the lady I told you that was she had a property in Belleville, and she said that she was trying to do what was it, a refi? It wasn't a refi.
Forbearance, a loan modification.
No. it was something where she had to. Okay, that's when her mother was taking all the money. Instead of her paying the bill, she was taking all the money. So it could have been. I don't know if it was a loan mod. It wasn't a loan mod. I think it was I can't remember what it was. But anyway, the lady was like, "Oh, I'm not in auction." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, you're in auction." And I wanted to start scrolling and show her. I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." But I did let her know that it's still on the site that I was on. And she reached out to me a couple of times after that too. Is it still on there? I was like, no.
Have you been so this is where we come back. Remember, I'm still going to ask them a question. When was the last time you talked to your bank?
Good question.
See, I'm going to unravel all that junk they throwing at the wall. I'm just going to hit them with a solid pop knot. When was the last time you talked to the bank? Well, I don't really deal with that. My husband or my wife deals with it or whatever. And that happens. Remember I told you about the door knock on a dude named Christopher, same name as me. His wife didn't even know they was in foreclosure. He rolled up looking like, That was crazy. I'm like, hey, yeah, what y'all?
While you were there?
Yeah, so I went and door knocked the house over here in Florissant. Beautiful house, 3-car garage. I'm like, man, it's a nice house. I like to move in this for myself. So I'm over here knocking on the door, right? They didn't want to answer. I ring the ring doorbell or whatever. She comes on like, how can I help you? I said, yeah, is Chris here? No, he's not here. How can I help you? I said, I was just trying to see if y'all did anything to stop the auction. Because she was like, this is his wife. And I was like, oh, if y'all do anything to stop the auction. And I look back, Chris pulling up in a minivan. I said, oh, snap. She's like, I don't know nothing about that. And Chris walks up. I'm like, hey, Chris, what you do with you did anything yet about the auction? And she come out the door now. She wouldn't answer the door before, but she came outside when he got there. And she looking at him. I'm looking at them. The kid looking at him like, ooh, I think I got him in trouble. Christopher. All Christophers don't be lying like that to their wife either.
Was his last name Monroe?
Hell no. No. I don't even remember his last name, but his name was Christopher something. And I was like, man, it's a nice house. I didn't know it was a big old nice house with a 3-car garage. I said, man.
So
he pulled up in the driveway right there too. I was like, dang. She didn't even know. She had no clue they was in foreclosure.
What did he say when you brought that up and his wife is standing right there?
Well, he walked up in front. He's like, oh, I got it taken care of. And he walked by. And I was like, I ain't really want to get in the middle because I thought they was going to go to war right there. I got it taken care of. But she nothing about it. And the little kid that came out with us, everybody come out the house. They heard me knocking. Then they see me ring the doorbell, act like they ain't at home, and going to walk out when the hubby show up.
They going to jump in. Because where they going to move to?
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
I think he got it taken care of. It came off the auction, or he sold it, or he did something, but he wasn't willing to do nothing. He figured that he sold that van, maybe. I don't know. He got a soccer mom van.
I got it taken care of.
Because that's the thing. So I try. So when I do talk to people in person on a door knock, and I see them, I try to just ask them, "Hey, what have you done about the auction?" And I won't yell it out so everybody can hear it. And then sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I'll call you," or text me, or they'll come outside and close the door, like that lady that did. We went to Bettina. How'd you like that lady that came out after we knocked on her door?
She came out with a black eye, a broken arm, looked like her ankle was twisted. Telling some, well, my son's gonna take care of it. I was like, wow.
She needed some help.
She did, but come to find out, she wasn't a crackhead or anything. She just, she said she was in a car accident, but they didn't look like that black eye. Didn't look like no car accident. It looked like a black eye, like somebody socked her in it.
Did you ask her to wink twice and if something was wrong?
Blink twice.
You should call her and check on her.
Hey, and you know what else, Art? She's a repeat offender. I knocked on this door probably about 2 months ago. I'm looking like, I've been to this house before.
Sure did.
Did she have a black eye again?
No, I didn't see her the first time. First time nobody answered the door, so I don't think she was there. But this time she was home and came on out and leaned on the rail. She was just our good friend. She was looking like, hi there, my little pretties, with her black eye. I was looking like, damn, somebody whooped on you. It's the crazy stories of door knocking, foreclosures.
Oh, it was a car accident.
That's what she said. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. All in the eye, like perfect. They're like, especially if it's, let me see. If you get hit in this eye, you know it's a right hand person caught you. It depends on which eye it is if it was really the truth.
See, hers was the left eye, so a right hand caught her. But then she also had she said she had cancer as well, and some of stuff. But yeah, she got us to leave.
So yeah, she was actually making it sound like she was so sure that they was gonna get it taken care of. Because her auction was like what, in 2 weeks or something, or less than that, right? She was sure that her brother, family, whoever it was gonna give her the money to get it caught up.
She said her son was.
Her son, that's who it was. Okay. This might be who whooping on her, but who knows?
Talk about answering that damn door. If we go back and she got a second black eye on the other side, we know something wrong with that picture.
If you see that, please call the police or something. Help that lady.
But Chris, that was fun though. I enjoyed going door knocking with you. It wasn't all quiet or just music. We were really, really into door knocking.
But did you learn some tactics you can use for your future door knocks?
Well, yeah, those signs, that made sense to hang the signs on the door just before you knock. Because when that lady came out, when she put her hand on that screen door, it so happened she tapped it, she touched it and wondered what it was. And that was the hanger that you had just put on there just before you knocked. And then the other number with the sticky note, that let you know which she responded to better, which I thought she responded to the sticky note.
Most people do.
She responded to the, and as we hadn't even turned a couple of corners yet, she had already responded to the sticky note.
And that other guy texted me back too. That Omar dude, he texted me, but he was like, "Yeah, he texted." We had a whole conversation, but he was acting like he, a text conversation that is. He didn't want to be on the phone because he wanted to text. Because it's people don't want everybody to know their business. You got to remember, foreclosure is like a secret society in this mode. They don't want nobody knowing they about to lose their house.
But it's so public though. Can't be too private if it's so public.
Well, it is public, but they're meaning like near family members. Like they don't want their spouse to know, their mama, their daddy, their cousin. I found a nice house out in Webster Groves one time. I went and knocked on his door. He's like, "Yeah, my mom's gonna give me the money." He owed like 20 grand. It was a nice house too. That was a really nice house out in a good area, grade A area. But he was like, "Yeah, I messed up a little, lost my job. My mom's gonna give me the money," and she did. They got that mug out of foreclosure because that was a nice house. I only go for the good ones, as you can see, or I don't mess around in them trash neighborhoods.
Yeah, I need to get to that too.
Make sure the juice is worth the squeeze.
I gotta hit that damn pizza place again. That was off the chain. I about bit my finger trying to eat that pizza.
Why would you do that?
Because I was trying to hurry up and get it in me so I can get on the next door.
Oh, but you trying to eat that day? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so good, man.
Yeah, but Tina's a foodie, y'all. A foodie.
Foodie. Wherever I am, still gonna eat. If I don't eat, I ain't coming.
Foodie. What's the zip code where you're at, Art, that you like up there? If you can get a house in any zip code, what would that be?
For a wholesale deal or something I'm buying and keeping?
You gonna move in it?
Move in it? Shit. Hold on, let me see.
Oh my gosh.
It's because
just a good zip code in your area, an area you'd like to do some deals in. Or you just like Gary, Indiana. I can't spell Indiana.
Zip code 46321.
46321. 46321. So up. So these shows bankruptcies. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to switch it to pre-foreclosures. You got 21 of them sitting over there. There's one on June 6th. That's a nice little house for you right there. And I think you can get to that one before time. All the houses. It's 19 of them according to this thing. Pre-foreclosures coming up in your little and that zip code. But you don't want that one. That's a condo. You want a house. You say you writing down addresses. I see you over there.
No, I'm just writing down. I haven't been using this foreclosure.com, but I've been meaning to. So I'm just writing another note about it.
A reminder.
Yeah.
What about you, Bettina? What zip code you want to be in? What zip code you want to buy?
63. Is it 63104?
Oh, 4?
Wait a minute. 6313. Hold on.
Yeah, that's like Soulard area. Yeah, down there where it's only 8 in that zip code. That's still a lot for just to be that one zip code.
That's a good way to go about looking for pre-foreclosures, man.
Yeah, just so much easier. Just like, hey, I want to be in this area. Just go knock everybody right here. Knock him, knock him, knock him. But out of all these, June 11th, you can make something happen before June 11th on this one. They don't really got a picture of it or nothing. They tell you all the stuff on here. Western Progressive Missouri. I don't even know. I never even called these people before. There's so many other, I guess, auction houses.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see if this comes up on Zillow. So this is what I'll be talking about. So we just saw that property on this site, right? And you go to Zillow, and it ain't on Zillow. So you won't even know this house is in foreclosure. That's why I use foreclosure.com. Auction.com is good. So let's see if it's on auction.com. Maybe it is. But I found properties that's only on there or not on auction.com. Let's share this tab instead. What was that? 63104. Auction.com is good and free, but I'll be like, man, wait a minute. I got to get everybody. I don't want to be missing 5 houses. No, I don't want this nearby stuff. Uh-oh. It ain't none. See, they show none in that zip code. And what this site show, like 8 or something? So that'll say that's how you know when we're doing just this one site, you leaving deals on the table. So this particular site pulls auction.com. It pulls all of the sites from what I've seen. Well, most of them. I don't want to say all because it pulls more than the others I found. We'll put it that way. So you got a whole auction coming here in 16 days. It ain't even on Zillow. It ain't on auction.com. But it is on whatever this Western Missouri Progressive place is. Sometimes they have a link on here too, but I don't see one. Let me see.
Man, it's very possible that that some of them people have had no one reach out to them and try to help them.
So when I searched that, right, exactly. And that's why I say we got to be serious about this. So I searched that Western Progressive Missouri Inc., right? And that's what comes up. All T-shorts. That might be a whole nother place to find more auction. I don't even know who these people are. Let's see what it say. Real estate investors. See, Hubzoo, that's another site, but that's mostly bank owned already once they go on there. Hold on 1 second, please. Thanks for calling. Hello, thanks for calling. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second here. They're coming out of the back of that building there on the main door there. Hold on, let me get it for you. Hold on. I'll send you a message. I called a Lyft for her to get home. I ain't feel like driving over there. Hold on. Let me see here. My bad, y'all. In the middle of a thing. Tell her the driver is there. And you see what states they cover: Arizona, California, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Washington.
And we should be checking these weekly, right?
I say daily. We get foreclosures every day in St. Louis. Every market is different, but here we get them every day.
Y'all hang on 1 second. Need to grab some.
All right, sorry about that. She ain't even there yet. How you gonna have me send somebody to somebody and you ain't even there? And it's a $5 fee. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so this is just one site. There's probably a bunch of them. Let me see. I'm trying to find, where do I see their list? See, they use Hubzu. That might be where it's at. Originations, insurance, title and settlement, appraisals, vendor management. They do all the backdoor stuff. Backdooria. Let's see here. They got the a lot of junk there. Yeah, I don't even see where you would find something on here. I'll probably have to go back through this site when I get a chance to just dig through it. But as you see, coming back to the basics and the fundamentals, the moral of the story is this mug got more options than what you're seeing on your other stuff. What you're seeing, and I don't even know what company that is. Western Progressive. Never heard of them. Well, I've never dealt with them. I guess I should say that. But they gonna take that main house or that person house. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. They gonna take their house. But other than that, any questions before we wrap up this lesson? Because the plane is landing. Do you hear something, Art?
Yeah, I hit a plane landing. Oh, time for our seatbelts.
Please put your seats in the upright position. Put your folding trays up. And we're going to be landing here, wheels down, in just a moment. Any last questions before we wrap this thing up?
No, sir.
Justin's gone. He fell asleep because he'd be up at 5 in the morning. And then Bettina, you done? She's out of here. Justin, anybody else?
I'm here.
Any questions, comments, concerns before we land? All good. So I will let y'all get back to y'all night. Hopefully you got something good out of this. But before we go, Art, what did you learn today?
I like how you said when the buyers come in with a low offer, tell them that we think we already got offers over that. You got to get back to them. I seen that Serenity, I believe her name was. She said probates, bankruptcies, and zombie properties equals bigger assignment fees.
Yep.
Another note that I just took, I know you said this before, but in Missouri, the affidavit of heirship, you could do that if the estate is less than $40,000 and the seller died over a year ago. And then a reminder on foreclosure.com. I'm definitely going to get some leads off of that this week for sure.
Boom. What about you, Bettina? What did you learn today?
Well, that marketplace, first of all, I forgot all about that. But then I wasn't thinking about real estate for marketplace. I was thinking more like lamps, tables, things of that nature. So that's a good one. And I did just place it on marketplace while we were actually here on this phone. So and then I also learned that, keep asking questions. And as I ask questions, I'll get the answers to whatever I'm looking for anyway. I mean, and if they say something like, if I ask them what they've done about the auction and they're telling me, we got it taken care of, like you said, or what have you, that
Right.
was an idea to try to find out what they're really doing, how much longer they have. And
What have you done to stop the auction?
just
Well, I ain't did nothing. What auction? Well, they're about to take your house if you don't do something about it. Have you been in contact with the lender? Have you talked to your bank? Oh, my bank, they told me they won't take my payment. You'll take mine, sign right here.
Yeah, that part.
I'm just messing with you.
That's a good contract. That would be a good contract because they don't want to just walk away without anything. You know, I sometimes tell them too that, you know, the banks are in the business for money. They're not in the business for real estate. So if you don't sell it, I mean, if you don't try to do something with it before the bank forecloses on it, well, you're going to walk away with nothing. And the bank is going to have the house back and they're going to make something off of it.
Here's another question for you to ask them too.
Okay.
If you did have to sell, did you have somewhere you could move to? If you did have to sell, if this thing you told me you were going to do doesn't work and you had to sell it, would you have a place to go?
Right.
I mean, they're not just going to put you out on the street, are they? That mean, evil bank.
You know they are. But yeah, that's a good question.
So those are what we want to do. Good pointed questions that give them an opportunity to spill their guts and vomit all their problems on you. Blech. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let y'all get back to your night. I'll see you next time. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do.